All right, we're back from the first live. Now we're back on the After Hours live. Uh, Quality Control has put the link up. I've put the link up. If you
Yours
guys
looks a
want
lot
to join
easier to
in,
type than Amber's.
I just copy and pasted mine. And Jacob Carter's here. And I'm going to put a little disclaimer. I know there's only a few in right now on the chat, but I'll put a disclaimer in there real quick. If I feel the need to kick you off this live, I will do so without any notice and possibly not ever let you back on. So just watch your P's and Q's and be respectful of others. Thank you. Public service announcement is over.
Can I get a warning if you're gonna kick me off?
I'll give you a little bit of a warning. It'll be a hidden warning, so you're gonna have to watch for it.
Okay.
It'll be like this or something.
So first responders back. He never really answered his own question about why rods stretch and don't collapse. I'm curious to see what his take on it is.
Yeah. So yeah, I give my take on it. I'd like to hear his take on it because first responder garage. I just want to put it out there. I appreciate all of your input that you give us on this stuff. And I know sometimes maybe my response may sound like I hope it doesn't sound like I'm arguing with you because I don't want to do that. I like to discuss, but just because of this going on and sometimes the way my brain works and trying to verbalize stuff, it comes out pretty short and to the point, maybe not the right way. But if it comes down to an argument about something, I'll just shut up and be quiet because I don't argue, especially online or usually in person, unless I'm having fun with somebody.
Yeah.
Unless they deserve an argument and I'm just going to have fun with them. But if I start to get upset, it's not worth it to me. I don't like being mad. I spent a lot of years of my life mad. I'm done with that. Yeah, we got Busted Grill Garages here. Jacob, we got two Jacobs. That gets confusing. High school all over again. Probably about my public service announcement.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, cool, man. I appreciate that because I just get to read your comments, so there's no visual cues of if you're getting upset with me and all that stuff. And I don't think you are. Just I worry about that. My wife gets on me. She's like, "You worry too much about what people think." I said, "Really?" She goes, "Well, you don't care what people think about you, but you do, and it's kind of confusing."
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have the same thing going on.
Yeah.
Like I care, but I don't really care.
Yeah. It depends on who it is, if I care or not. Yeah, Steve Heighten's here. What's going on, Steve?
Was he around in the last live when you were giving updates on the 339? Because I know he's usually asking about it.
I don't remember seeing him comment, so I'm not sure if he was in the first Tailgate Talk live a little bit ago, Steven, but I did give a little update on the 339, and I'll be glad to do it again because I like to talk about my toys. It's actually wrapped up right now, but camshaft is. I won't go through everything because you just have to go back and watch the first live to kind of get a little bit of an update. But a degreed cam
has been made.
Yeah, progress has been made. I've got the cam degreed, but I'm still not sure if that's where I want to keep it. But I've got all the numbers and everything checked. So if I decide I want to go back to where it was, all I got to do is change the gear. I've got all the numbers wrote down for both ends of it. I've checked some other stuff. I got what was my last video that came out? The push rod link. yeah. So I've got that checked. And my next video, just I guess a little maybe spoiler alert, I don't know. A perk for you guys being here live and listening to me.
There you go.
Is the next video coming out tomorrow afternoon will be how push rod length affects total valve lift. Not that it really matters because your push rod length needs to be the right length for the pattern on your valve stem. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to see how it affects it. You know, if it is longer, does it give more lift, less lift? I wasn't really sure. So I've done a fun little video of that, and you'll have to watch it to see how it comes out.
Oh, so I see the first responder, his comment about overlap and the negative pressure also has a pulling effect on the piston, adding to the rod stretch versus collapse effect, I think is what he's talking about here.
Yeah. Yep. Because at the same time, the crankshaft is trying to pull the rod in the opposite direction, and you've got a little bit of a vacuum on top, and yeah. Hey, Jacob.
How's it going, Chad? How's it going, Travis?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Pretty good.
How's the square body hunt going?
I found two. I found that one I sent you on Instagram. That was that's a 79. Then I found a 73. That's a crew cab.
Ooh.
And that one needs a lot of love.
Yeah. Two of my favorite years, and one's a crew cab. So hopefully one of them pans out for you.
Right.
Oh, hello, Jacob Holloway.
He's other the Jacob, but I'm the other Jacob.
Jacob and Jacob 2.0 or
right.
The BGG. So yeah, I knew this Jacob before I knew that Jacob. But actually, did I have my YouTube channel whenever we first met? That Jacob? I think I might have just started it because I still had the Red Rocket.
I want to say I was within my first 10 subscribers when we met.
Yeah.
Because I tried to buy a set of wheels off of your trade you a set of wheels or something or another.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. And you know what? The thing is, I don't have those wheels now. I left them on the truck because I didn't have any other wheels to put on it. I wish I would have kept them. They were I wish I was on a laptop so I could go find that picture and stuff, but it was 79 K10 long bed, two-tone red, and I had the American Racing Vectors on it, the Dukes of Hazzard wheels.
Oh.
And
nice.
30, I think I had 32 1150 BFGs on it, like stock height, but it just had a perfect stance to it. I really missed that truck. But I got cream puff in trade. So it's like, Now, Mrs. Squareby says the Jacobs. So yeah, the 339 has had some progress. It's at the top of my priority list. It is actually at the top of what do we call Mrs. Squarebody?
Mrs. Squarebody?
Well, Mrs. Squarebody, but operations manager.
There you go.
She's operations manager, and operations manager says, "Get the 339 done."
I need to talk to my operations manager. She keeps talking about yard work and house stuff.
Well, I've still got to keep up on that, which we haven't, up until the last few days, we haven't had a whole lot of rain. So the yard just pretty much quit growing, except for what we call toe dirt, those real small stem things with the steel on the end of them. They're everywhere, but Yeah. Finish a 339 because it's actually it's a little bit of a twofold thing with it right now because I want to finish it because I got a lot. It's been sitting around. It's been a year-long project by now, and I want to hear it run. I want to get it going. But on the other hand, the reason I want to get it done is because it's just kind of it's that project that's sitting there that I need to get done, and it's kind of just in the way. I want to get it done so that way once it's done, it's like, oh, I'll have so much more free time. I won't because I got 500 other projects, but I won't have the 339 anymore to work on. Well, it'll still mean the truck. I'm sure it's going to have stuff to do to it.
But once you get the 339 done, you free up an engine stand to put something else on, like a big block.
Yeah, the big block will be going on the engine stand, and I'll be getting it ready for going to cream puff.
Is that when the heads cam swap is taking place?
Yep. I've got there's some Pro Comp aluminum heads that I got for really, really cheap, so that's why I've got those. But they flow just as good, if not better, than what's on it, and the aluminum be a lot lighter. That's the biggest perk to those. Is they're so much lighter. I've also got a different intake I'm going to put on it, and a little bit bigger cam. And the cam that's in this engine right now will probably sit on the shelf for 2 years again, but it'll be saved to probably go into Buddy like it was originally bought for. But then again, I may do something totally different. Who knows?
So I guess I hadn't heard that the official plan was to put the 454 in cream puff.
Oh, I thought I told you that. Huh.
So
yeah, that's the plan.
So we traded some stuff. I traded a cam to him, that cam that he's talking about, for some other stuff, and it was killing him standing there in his shop for him not to start tearing it apart and putting a cam in it as I was standing in it.
Yeah. It's not. I guess I don't even remember what the specs are on that cam. It's a Lunati something or other, but it's bigger than the one that's in this truck right now, this engine right now. So it'll have a little more chop. So it should be that much better because this one's already putting out pretty good horsepower and torque, and it's going to be more once it goes into cream puff. Let's see. Build and learn, trial and error. Sometimes I have more error. Yeah. Studying ring seal in relation to weight of oil. Yeah, I actually have something to add to that. Actual technical data by word of mouth in the two-stroke world, but it also carries over into four-stroke world. Oh, there's Ryan with Streetcar Chronicles. Here goes the show, folks.
Yeah.
Time to bust
the mouth from the south.
All right.
Ryan Wing.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
How's it going, Ryan?
Man, I'm good, dude. I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep the last 2 days. Everything's good. I'm good. I feel good. Like, just as a general whole.
How many Red Bulls you got just off screen?
I have quit drinking Red Bulls. I have entered a diet because, according to the seat in my car, I'm a fat. So, yeah. And according to my Dickies buttons on Dickies shorts, I am a fat ass. So, I am 7 pounds down, which is just water weight. We all know that.
Yeah.
But I'm taking all victory, so you can kiss my ass.
Yep.
So
yeah, like I watched that video of us riding in my Concho pretty much over and over and over.
Yeah.
And I realized, you mentioned, man, it hooked up good. Well, it's got probably 600 pounds.
Yeah.
Holding it down between the two of us. So
yeah, there's a lot of man. There was a lot of meat, a lot of man in that car. Yeah. So I didn't even think about that, but not really placed in the correct spot according to Newton's law. It worked. Just
Yeah. It ain't gotta be right. It's just gotta work.
hey, if it works, is it wrong? You know what I'm saying?
So are you saying you're gonna add some weight to the floorboards of the front of the car for
no,
future? No.
You're just gonna have to get some. Well, you right now you probably got plenty of duck feed. Just grab 4 or 5 pounds of duck feed. It'll be 250 pounds. Strap it in the passenger seat, and it'll be like me riding with you all the time. And that thing will hook all the time.
Yeah. Let's change the subject off the ducks because it's just a mess already. There they are.
So yeah, Ryan has become a duck farmer.
I have. Those are my fighting ducks there. They're gonna guard the front 40. I've got some other fighting ducks coming this week. They're a hybrid from Indonesia, and they know Cantonese and Taekwondo. And I think I'm going to have a successful duck business. Things are looking up.
Taekwondo duck.
It's a Taekwondo duck.
Oh! So Steve Heighton says 339. My 339 versus a Dodge 340. I would love to see that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I can already tell the outcome of that. Most American thing ever.
Yeah.
Followed up with probably a toe strap of some sorts in the Dodge lane.
Is Chad switching lanes to get behind the Dodge?
Man.
I kid.
Yeah.
Sad decision.
Yeah, the Dodge will make it there sometime.
So, that while it's on my mind, Scott Sheffy is talking about he's studying weight of oil for ring seal. So I've got a little story about that, if you care to listen. But it's in the two-stroke world, which it still carries over. I was talking to another chainsaw builder back when I was building chainsaws for a living. He was from Michigan, I think it was. No, not Michigan. Minnesota. So they have snowmobiles up there, snow machines, whatever you want to call them. And he had a buddy that had a dyno to dyno the snow machines because he built them and everything. And the guy done a test on one of the snowmobiles. After he got done dynoing it, he was just wanting to see how much the oil ratio in the fuel, because that's the only way the engine gets any oils or lubrication from the oil and the fuel. He wanted to do a test on oil ratio versus horsepower. So I think he started out maybe 50 to 1 and went to 40 to 1, 32 to 1, kept going more oil. The lower the number, the more oil you have. And it kept gaining horsepower up until like 16 to 1 is when it's kind of just plateaued. He said it kept gaining horsepower with the more oil in it. And in my mind, a lot of that is ring seal. And also, and I've had debates on this part of my theory the whole time I was building chainsaws, that oil will slow down the rate of burn in your fuel. So not effectively an octane rating, but my theory is it does slow down the rate of burn on fuel so you can actually add more time or have more compression. But if your engine doesn't need more octane, then it doesn't matter. You can put 120 octane in it in a 7-to-1 compression engine. It's not going to make any more horsepower.
No.
Yeah.
But the ring seal thing was pretty much the big deal. And I'm wanting to say, Motor Trend Engine Masters, they've done a dyno test on engine oil, different weight, on how it affected horsepower. And I'm wanting to say that, I can't remember for sure how it all panned out, but I'm wanting to say that the heavier oil helped produce a little more somewhere, and they attributed that to ring seal. And the good old boy test that I've done for a lot of years is when I have a worn out engine that burns a lot of oil, you run 2050 and a lot of Lucas to really thicken it up. I've never done the 90 weight gear oil, but I've heard people that have, and they will quit smoking and they'll make a little more power.
This is true. Everything Chad said is very, very, very true. I agree with you on the ring seal thing. I used to have a Camaro that would only run 8.0s on motor and run 690s on a little bit of nitrous. When I switched to a diesel oil, because I noticed the oil pressure was starting to kind of drop a little bit in the early LS engines, the oil pumps were shit. So one of the tricks was you could run a thicker oil and it would help bring the pressure up some. And so I ran a diesel oil in it, and the car would run a 790 almost every time back to back on motor. I put it back on a 10W30 and it would only run an 8.0.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I'd say ring seal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously you want to run, depending on your bearing clearance and stuff, you obviously want to run a heavy enough oil. You don't have problems there.
Yeah.
But you don't want to get too thick of an oil where it can't flow through those tight bearing clearances.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I'm definitely not telling everybody to go put 90 weight oil in their LS, because it probably won't be happy because they're a tighter tolerance engine if it's fresh or under 200,000 miles.
Yep. Yep. Mine had 100,000 on it. Motor lived for quite some time after I got rid of it, but
yeah,
I beat the snot out of it on nitrous. That's why the ring gap loosened up in it, because the rings were probably melted away. Because I was like, hey, what's a stock fuel pump good to? And NOS was like, I wouldn't spray over 100. I was like, cool, we'll start with 150 and see where it goes. Yeah.
How far did it go?
Oh man, dude, I beat this, dude. Okay, so this is why I have respect for the LS engine. I literally beat the snot out of that thing. We used to go to the track on Wednesday night for testing, Thursday night for teen and street night, and Friday night grudge. And I ran that car probably 5 to 7 passes a night, and then drove it every day. And drove it every time I left work. I left work on the wood, smoking the tires. And I literally had to put more tires on that car than I did oil changes. And I had it for 2 years. It was a cream puff. Like I got it from a 78-year-old lady that it was just her daily driver, and she traded it, or she bought a 02 SS. Mine was a 99, and she was going to retire with that 02 SS. So, I mean, it was a nice car, but I beat the snot. Boy, I beat it like it owed me money. I did, and I think the motor I sold it to the speed shop I worked for at the time, and then they sold it to some other guy, and that guy raced it for a while, and then another guy had it and took it up north, and he raced it for a while, and then when he had it, it finally let go, and they put a 5.3 in it. That was like 8 years later.
Oh wow!
Yeah. It was a fun car.
Not as fun as my Concho.
Well, I mean, yeah, it kind of. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it was more fun than my Concho. You literally did nothing. You got in it, you drove it, and then you were like, "Oh, I want to go faster." You go, "Ah, oh man, that was pretty fast. And then you go home, you get out, and you leave your water bottles in it because you don't care. And then the next day you gotta go to work. It was great. Honcho's like, oh, you want to do what? Oh, sure, yeah, no, Ryan, we can totally do that, but first we've got a few leaks to address.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I haven't moved it since me and you went on our ride, Chad, and I went out there today and I dropped something and I reached down to go get it, and there's more transmission fluid on the ground than there is in the transmission. I'm almost guaranteeing.
Turbo 400 life.
Super excited. Yeah. It's a great car.
Yeah.
It's a great car.
Yeah, because I was
bane of my existence.
I don't want to make it sound bad, but I had high hopes to be able to ride in my Concho while we were down there.
Yeah.
But I also knew my Concho's a little temperamental, and it might not happen. So I'm glad it did.
And we're going to let you leave here without a ride.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to take me a few months to get everything fixed on it, but it's fine. It was a good time, man. It's a great video. I mean, I had a good time. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Well,
Something
you could have
we didn't have in the videos. What was that?
If all else failed, he could have towed it with his Dodge.
Could have. Yeah, could have.
He had two Dodges there, so.
Of course, just a week later, I drove to the beach and had to have a Ford pull my Dodge out. Attached to another Dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 3 total that had to pull me out. Truck. Buy a 2-wheel drive. I don't need a 4-wheel drive. First time I ever bought a 2-wheel drive truck in my life. Idiot. You don't ever look. So if we're talking about facts, if you want to get something out of this after hours, here is a factual thing. Don't you ever buy a truck that's 2-wheel drive. Dumb. Stupid, dumb, and stupid. Dumb.
Yeah, I currently have a 2-wheel drive diesel, which is more worthless than your 2-wheel drive gas job.
That's even worse. It's so dumb. How did you get so dumb? What happened?
Well, it's what was available.
Shit, I know. That's what I did too. I was like, oh, it's got heated and cooled seats and a moonroof for the wife?
See, mine's got all that too, and it's 4-wheel drive. So I don't know what your excuse was.
Well, my Dodge dealership sucked, and I
found mine at a Ford dealership. So
yeah, there's more Dodges on that Ford dealership lot than there was Ford.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted another 5-liter, but I couldn't get them. I was looking at a 4-wheel drive 5-liter F-150. It was really nice, but they wanted a little too much, and I started pitting Dodge and Ford against each other. But Dodge was like, man, we can do whatever you want, man. If you want it lower, we'll give it to you lower. They were like, oh, whatever we got to do to get you in here. Ford was like, sorry, to what? Yeah. Look around you. There's no trucks here. This is the only one. No. You will pay a lot of money. Yeah. And so we bought the Dodge.
Yeah, the funniest thing on that trip.
Fun fact. I got in it today to run to go get dinner, and the radio didn't come on. The whole screen. It's all black.
The U-Connect went out on it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened on our Grand Cherokee yet.
What?
I will tell you, the funniest thing on that trip that he got stuck in the.
Yeah, my son loved sitting on the beach laughing at me with his cousins while I was.
I can't say that I blame him.
Yeah, no, it was great, dude. Why'd I do this? Yeah, and I threw shit, kicking sand. I lost a shoe. It was not good.
So did you do any bodyboarding?
No.
I've yet to see.
No.
I've yet to see the videos or pictures of that.
No, that didn't happen. After that ordeal, basically I ruined the beach day on day one.
He got stuck.
Good job, Ryan.
I got stuck again and had to get pulled completely out for about 1.5 miles. I just stayed attached to my brother-in-law's Dodge because I was like, look, I'm not even going to try. This is bullshit, and we're not going to do this. So just pull me out of here like a damn kid on his little red wagon.
Brother-in-law Dodge, just 4-wheel drive, right?
Yeah, 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive Cummins. Yeah.
Now, has he had his longer, or could you have bought it?
What's that now?
Now, has he had his longer, or could you have bought it?
No, he's had his longer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's had his longer. I had an F-250 when he bought his. I had a Lariat 4-wheel drive F-250, and I used to drag his ass everywhere, not only from light to light, but pulling freight. It was amazing. I made fun of him every day that he was living that Cummins life. I was power stroking.
And he traded it for a 2-wheel drive Dodge.
No, I actually did worse than that. I traded it for a Durango RT.
Hey, I had one of those.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. And then I realized that SUVs were not going to work, so we went and got the truck, and that's where I made the big boo boo about that whole two-wheel.
But the Durango RT was all-wheel drive.
It was. I know.
Yeah.
No. I specifically got the rear-wheel drive one so I could do burnouts.
Oh.
I didn't.
Oh. Ours was.
I drove a four-wheel drive one, and I was like, "This is boring as shit." And so I went back. You guys got a rear-wheel drive one? He goes, "We got two." I was like, "Give me that one." And so we got that one. I turned the traction control off. I was like, "Much better."
I'm not going to say won't say it was the right decision. I'm saying I understand.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, but what's even more fun is when you turn the traction control off and you get all four of them spinning.
Well, I attempted to do that on the test drive, and I don't know if it's just because it didn't have any miles on it. She's still a little tight, but she just wasn't happy. It was Battleship Gray. I did like that, but now
ours was Bruiser Gray, kind of a dark bluish gray.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty. I like that car. It's a 2017.
Yeah, it was great. I love driving it. Fun fact: the screen went out too.
Really?
And I only had it for a year, and I've only had the Dodge Ram for a year and a half.
All right. So, what year was your Durango?
21.
Okay. So they were both post-COVID or during COVID built vehicles. So I feel better about it because our Ram is a 19, and that's pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And
I worked for Walmart last week, wiring up my truck. Yeah. Yeah.
So I had a 2016 Ram for 3 years, I think, and put 85,000 miles on it in 3 years and never had a single problem with it.
See, Dave told me the best truck he ever owned was the Dodge Ram 1500 he has. He got a 14 model.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's the best truck I've ever had. And so I was like, well, if Dave says it's the best truck, I'm going for it. And so we did it. And I will say, I'm going to say this. That is the best cooling half ton I've ever had in my life. It gets the best fuel mileage on and off the trailer of any truck I've ever had in my life, including my F-250. If I put the Malibu on the F-250 and it went down the highway at 70 miles an hour, it'd get about 17 and a half. If I stick it on the back of that Dodge and roll 65, or actually 70, 75, it gets about 16 and a half, 17.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no difference.
Yeah.
Get on the highway a little lower than the Neo F-250 did, but I mean, if you're who's trying to race,
Well, I was with you when you done the trading with the 55 and your new Malibu.
Yeah.
The Chevelle. Are you calling it the Chevelle or Malibu?
I don't even know.
Malibu's kind of confusing because you got two of them, but
yeah.
Anyway, I was impressed with the truck because your piece of crap Dodge that you don't like.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. I keep forgetting to correct you. As a Ram owner, I have to correct you. It is not a Dodge. It is a Ram.
That's correct. My apologies.
So maybe it just hates you because you don't even know its identity and you don't know its pronouns.
I mean,
So it might
we're
hate
12
you.
years into that now. Come on.
What's that?
We're 12 years into that now. Come on.
Well,
Yeah, 12 years into the Ram.
honestly, I didn't know that until about 6 months ago.
Yeah. But I was impressed with your Ram towing, the cars, because
Oh yeah.
of course ours, I've got my Duramax, so if I'm going to pull any trailers or anything, I'm going to use it. But I
Yeah.
never intended to pull anything with our Ram, but I was pretty impressed with how it pulled.
Yeah,
Of course,
it pulls really good. I'm like I had a 17 5-liter with the 6-speed trans. Now the 10-speed's a little different, but I had the 6-speed, and it pulled pretty good, but it didn't pull near as good as the Dodge. And I had a Z71 before that.
Ram.
Oh yeah, my apologies, Ramola. I should know because they put the letters real big on the back just in case you forgot.
Yeah.
I specifically got the tailgate that's split in half, so I didn't have to have that BS on there. Like, that is the biggest emblem I've ever seen in my life. There you go, buddy.
Mine doesn't have.
Dude.
It just got. Are you just talking about the ram's head in the middle?
No, the big one.
What year's yours, Chad?
Mine doesn't have that. It's a regular tailgate, but it does. It's just got the Ram emblem in the middle, the Ram's head, and then it's got Ram on one of the corners and Laramie on the other.
Shit.
What year's yours?
Yeah. 17? No, 19.
See, I thought it started in 17 when they switched from the Ram's head to the big Ram that takes the entire tailgate up.
Yeah, the one that says Ram.
Yeah.
I think it's on certain trim levels.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Because you can still get the classic, which is the 4th gen, the previous body style. You can still get that, and I think there's a guy at work that he just bought it last year, a Ram, but it's still the old previous body style, but it's like what do they call it? It's a special off-road package. I don't know, maybe Honey Badger. I don't know what it is, but
is it a Rebel? Isn't that an off-road
Rebel?
package?
Yeah, I think it's the Rebel. Yeah, Duramax. Yeah, if you're gonna pull anything, get a Duramax. Maybe not as 100% reliable as Cummins, but I guess if you want reliability and pulling power, go with an older Cummins, but
yeah,
they'll last forever.
That's why I am driving a 2-wheel drive, because the 4-wheel drives weren't nearly as popular in the early 90s as the 2-wheel drives were, and that's what I found was a 2-wheel drive, because they haven't made my truck in 30 years.
Yeah, and the 4-wheel drive first gens are stupid expensive because there wasn't as many of them.
Yeah, I really want a 4-wheel drive first gen. I'm gonna build one. That's what the plan is for the crew cab, is because it's 4-wheel drive, and I should have just kept it when I bought it the way it was, because it was a Cummins with an automatic 4-wheel drive short bed crew cab, and I had some crazy idea of how bad I wanted a Cummins Ram Charger, so I stole the parts off the crew cab to make the Ram Charger, and then hated the Ram Charger and sold it, and sold the crew cab, and now I got the crew cab back. So I'm gathering parts to put the crew cab together with I have an engine and a transmission. I just don't have a transfer case yet, or axles.
Yeah. Live and learn.
Yep.
I think what you guys need here is this old 390 with a C6.
Yeah.
That currently doesn't run.
I got plenty of cars that don't run. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, there's that. See, I didn't realize this, but there's 2 fuel tank switches on these. The one up on the dash is for the gauge, and then you have a manual one down there in the floor. And I took the manual one off last weekend, try to clean it a little bit, and turns out it just made it worse. I freed it up, and you can select tanks now, but it just leaks like a sieve. And I dumped
that's not good.
Yeah, dumped $20 worth of gas into the tank just for it to run right back out on the ground.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, but
bypass it for now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But got a couple of goodies in for it today. The other couple of goodies will be here tomorrow, and then hopefully goodies will be installed on truck Saturday.
What kind of goodies? Or you don't want to spill any beans?
We were talking about American racing earlier.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. It's going to look a lot different than what it does now.
Is it going to look more torquey?
It's going to look torquey.
Okay. Sorry. Couldn't help it. It's kind of like a dad joke.
Hey, I've been brushing up on my dad jokes. We're like 3 or 4 days out now, so
yeah.
I got to get rolling with the dad jokes.
Yep. Oh, he's due that soon.
Yeah, I think Monday's the actual due date.
Wow, your life is fixing to change.
Yes.
In the most miraculous way.
Bye, Ryan.
Bye, Ryan. He probably had to poop.
More than likely. When does Ryan not have to poop?
Yeah, the chalupa's finally hit.
Right.
I did figure out I'm going to have to space the front out about 1/4 inch, 5/16 of an inch because they're hitting the hub. But I don't think that'll be that big of a deal. Back fits good and sits.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, I had to do that on the on that red rocket, that red K10 I had to put those American Races on there. It would rub the tie rod in. I had to put 1/4 inch spacers on it just to spade them out a little bit. Back spacing was a little bit too narrow or too deep, I guess.
Yep, I'm trying to find a good shackle kit for the back of this to get at least help it sit level instead of. It needs to sit level. It doesn't need a rake.
Okay.
Humor me.
Are you not a fan of shackle kits there, Chad?
I just like to give him a rough time. I mean, I've got a leveled truck behind me, so I can't say anything. But it was, yeah, wasn't really the intentions at first as far as looks. It was just performance.
You raised it back up a little bit, didn't you? It did sit lower.
Yeah.
Than it does now.
Yeah, because I put the axle on top of the spring. Of course, it's the bigger axle, so it's got bigger tubes, so it actually lowered it more than what the factory axle, half-ton axle, would have lowered it by maybe a little bit. But then it was too low, so I took the 4-wheel drive shackles on the rear, or hangers, because they're taller. Like, I think it's 3 or 4 inches taller than the 2-wheel drive hangers. So it got the back end right where I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm when I changed the rear end around in the extra parts, I don't think I want to do the full leaf spring flip because I think that's going to be way too much. But I have a set of lowering shackles that are just sitting there. So I think I might use those, but I haven't decided completely yet. So I was curious about your thoughts on the lowering shackles.
Oh, there's nothing. I don't see anything wrong with them. I mean, it does affect the pinion angle a little bit, but if you're gonna, you can reset that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm I'm not planning on cutting the mounts off. I could buy shims, I guess.
Yeah.
To change it if
and
I
it
needed.
might. I mean, with what you're doing with the truck, it may, because it's gonna tip your opinion down just a little bit, not a whole bunch, but just a little bit. So that might help with your current problem with the axle doing this.
I don't know if it's going to be enough because I don't think it's going to be in the tens of tens of degrees that it it probably needs. I think I'm still going to have to find something to limit that backflip the road is trying to do in there. Did the lights just go out at Busted Grill Garage there?
The sun went down.
It was very like 1 minute he was in bright. The light, and next minute it was dark.
Right.
Yeah. See, we're in southern Missouri, so it's like a light switch. It's light and dark. Yeah. That's why I moved my table around, because I had too much light behind me because I was facing outside. And
now we've got a hunch. We've got a bunch of grown-up stuff just on the lower part of our property down here, and we've been finding some bear scat down there. And I'm sitting just right next to it. I don't know if you can. It's not very far.
We can't see anything.
It's not very far away, and I hear some rustling over there right now. I'm not gonna say I'm freaked out at all, but I just don't want a bear to come out of this grown-up stuff over here. So I think I'm gonna hop off and get in the house.
Okay.
So you're not gonna say you're scared, but you kind of are.
No, I'm not gonna say I'm scared. You guys,
I don't blame you. I'd go in the house too.
All right, we'll see you later, Jacob. I may be frozen.
You are frozen.
Yeah.
I was thinking someone sent me.
I had a message I had to check on, and now I'm lost. I don't know what's going on. Oh.
Yep, I'm gonna get off here.
There you are.
Have a good night.
Okay.
See ya. Have a good night.
All right, we'll see you later.
See ya. And then it was the Three Stooges.
The Three Stooges. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to get off here pretty soon because I don't know, for some reason I have my phone plugged in as far as charging the battery, and it says it's 86%, but the battery thing was flashing. So my phone maybe it's getting hot. So I may have to cut it off pretty soon, or just lose it all at once, and I don't know what would happen then. I don't know if I could how I'd end it. Shut it off. Stop the live. It may just go on forever. I don't know. And I got to get up and go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
I just work a regular shift tomorrow, and the next 2 days I work double shifts, and so I'll be putting in. The next 3 days I'll be putting in 40-hour weeks. So.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah. Yeah, it'll be 5 shifts, so that's a full week. So I'm probably gonna end it off unless anybody else has something to visit about.
I think we're at a pretty good stopping point.
Yeah,
I think so too. It's kind of died down, and get this dog to the house. He was pestering me.
He's
gotten big though. Yeah, he's pretty much been laying on my feet most of the night.
See, that's nice during the winter time when it's all nice and cold.
Yeah.
But during
I'll be
here, it's horrible.
I'll be doing videos out here in the shop when it's cold, and I'll be snuggling up with him. Just crazy how fast these dogs grow, because he's gotten big already. Yeah. I need to weigh him. We plan on doing like every month a recreation picture. That first picture of me holding him in front of Ryan's shop.
Right.
Yeah.
And like every month it'll be. I'm not sure what we're gonna do when he's full grown. I'm not sure I'll be able to pick him up then. I probably could. I probably shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll end this off, and everybody's still here. Remember, next week we will be on Travis's channel, Perpetual Project. And yeah, go to his channel, check out what they've got going on. They've always got some cool stuff going on in their channel.
Well, thank you.
And I've got a couple videos coming out this week. 339 project is, I guess, full bore. I'm trying to not get it knocked out. So I guess until next week, we will see you all later. Thanks for joining in.
See you next week.
See you.